Hi, what if I told you you could build a stronger, more lean body without ever leaving your kitchen? And not with long, complicated meal plans, but with simple snacks that you can do throughout your day. Because here's what we now know from science: your brain resists big change, but your body responds incredibly well to small, consistent actions. And after the age of 50, what you eat and how often you move matters more than ever. Because building muscle isn't just about exercise, it's also about giving your body the basic materials it needs in order to build that muscle, and that begins with protein. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I do both at the same time. In my kitchen, I am making some of my favorite high protein, low carb snacks, things like egg bites, deviled eggs, ham and cheese roll ups, and even a simple low carb pizza. And I'm going to show you how, in the middle of real life in the kitchen, I also do what I call exercise snacks. I'm Linda. Welcome to my channel, New Age Beauty, which is all about aging beautifully, mind, body, and spirit. At 76, I explore what's possible, what's worth doing, and how we can all exceed our own expectations for aging by shifting our mindset from growing old to growing bold and setting bold goals for ourselves. But before we get started, there's something incredibly important that you need to understand. After 50, your body goes through two major changes. The first one is sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss, and anabolic resistance, which means your body becomes less efficient at building muscle. So even if you are exercising, if you're not eating enough protein, your body simply doesn't have what it needs to build that muscle. So how much protein do we need? Well, most experts recommend about 0.75 to 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight, which is roughly 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. But here's what most people don't realize: your body does not store protein efficiently. And that means you need to be feeding your body protein throughout the day. So while exercise tells your body to build muscle, protein gives it the material to actually do it. That is why I call these body snacks. You're consistently feeding your muscles what they need throughout the day. And that's how you maintain muscle, build muscle, and create that toned, firm look that we all want. But before we get into it, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Give me a like or a hype, and click on the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content. So as you can see, this is not about perfection. It's about creating a rhythm in your day: a few minutes of movement, a few bites of protein, a few intentional choices done consistently. That's what changes your body over time. And remember, your body is wired to resist big change, but it will accept small, repeated actions. And those small actions are what build strength, shape your body, and create real confidence over time. But what you need most is consistency. And that is why I created my New Age Beauty Goal Tracker to help you actually accomplish your goals. And I just added a new nutrition tracker that has a protein calculator, so it will tell you how much protein you need based on your body weight. And it allows you to track all your macros: fat, carbs, sugar, sodium, whatever it is that you want to track, along with your hydration. So there's no need to guess anymore about whether you're getting enough. Now, there are plenty of apps out there that will track your nutrition for a fee, but my app actually combines nutrition with beauty, fitness, and wellness tracking. So you can track your skincare routines along with your squats, and it gives you inspirational guidance throughout. Now, at some point, I'm probably going to charge a fee for this, but it's going to remain free for anybody who's already using it. So I developed this app because I wanted to not just inspire women based on my own journey, but I wanted to give you tools to actually help you accomplish your bold goals. And that's what this does. Because when you accomplish something, no matter how small, if you track it and you check it off, your brain starts to work with you instead of against you. So this first snack is the grab and go egg bites, and these are very similar to what you can buy at Starbucks, which I like, only they're much better because they're homemade, and they're kind of fun to make. It's kind of like making cupcakes. I found it on a YouTube channel, and this woman does a really great job. I'm going to link it below in the description box, but she does a really great job of making high protein foods by combining cottage cheese and eggs and yogurt. And so you'll see today, this is eggs and cottage cheese, this first one. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. And then while they're cooking, I'm going to show you an exercise snack to go along with it. So I am going to link the video that I followed below so you can get precise instructions. But essentially, you're going to use 8 eggs, a cup of cottage cheese, pepper, oregano, and for the ingredients, you can mix this up any way you want. The recipe calls for red bell pepper, which I used, and chopped spinach. It called for feta, but I switched that for goat cheese, which is my favorite cheese. But you can do ham and cheese, you can do fresh tomatoes, you can mix up the ingredients any way you want, and you can actually make, different cups within that dozen that you're going to make. You could do three or four different kinds. So this is very simple. You go ahead, chop, and put your ingredients into each one of the muffin tins. And then you're going to pour the egg mixture on top of them, being careful not to overfill it. And then you're going to put them in the oven. And you will have already put in the oven some hot water because that actually keeps them from drying out while they are cooking. And let them cool for 12 to 15 minutes so that you can run a knife alongside each muffin to extract them from the tin. So here are my egg bites, and I'm now putting them in a storage container to put in the refrigerator. But I want to take a minute to talk about these containers. This company, Caraway, sent me a set of their containers. I never, ever would have known about them otherwise, and I was just blown away. They are not a sponsor. I am not selling you anything. I just wanted to tell you about these if you don't know. They are the highest quality containers I've certainly ever seen. They're very, very thick with a ceramic coating, so you can actually bake in them, use them as baking dishes, put them in the microwave, put them in the refrigerator, put them in the freezer, and they take you pretty much through every stage of the cooking and storing. And anyway, if you're in the market for containers, you should absolutely check out their site. They also have unbelievable cookware. So here we go with our first exercise snack, and you will see that I have wrapped a band around my kitchen faucet. You have to be careful when you use bands that you are attached to something really, really stable. So these are called loop resistance bands, and you can see that there's little loops, and then they allow you to grab them at different places in order to increase the resistance level. I have a kit of 3 different strengths, and I have 2 sets of them, so I can combine them in a variety of different ways from different locations. But this is what I enjoy doing in the kitchen. And you'll see I'm giving my upper arms some different resistance exercises for my biceps and for my triceps. And they're actually amazingly effective. They're actually stretching out your muscles as opposed to with weights where you're compressing your muscles. These are stretching out your muscles, which gives you a different result from this kind of exercise. So here I'm now using the same bands, and I'm using them to balance me as I do squats, and I'm pulling back with my arms. So as I do that, I'm feeling the tension mostly in my triceps as well as a little bit in my biceps. Now here is another exercise where you don't need any bands or anything else. You just hold on to your sink counter, and then you lower yourself slowly and then raise yourself in a stretched out position. So this is working out, again, biceps and triceps, but you need to tighten your glutes and your core at the same time you're doing that. And that's going to give you an upper and lower body workout. The key is to always be in control of your body position and to slowly lower and raise yourself. So here we're using the sink to do a squat or a plie. And so you're holding on with one hand, putting your hand on your waist on the other side for balance, and then you're going to perform a squat motion, which means essentially sitting back like you're sitting in a chair. That's the best way to look at it. Just pretend you're about to sit down. And then if you can go deeper than that, that's terrific. So this just gives you great balance, super fast to do, and very, very effective. So this is a very simple little snack, which is one of my favorites. Just take a low-carb tortilla, put a little mayonnaise, and in this case, I use honey cup mustard because it has a lot of flavor without having to use very much. It has a little bit of zing to it, and it has 2 carbs per teaspoon, which is plenty. Then I put slices of ham and Swiss cheese along with some lettuce and just roll it up. And as I roll it up, I try and make it as tight as possible and then put a little toothpick through it. Then you can just store them in an airtight container and they'll last for 2 or 3 days. So it's a great little snack, high protein, low carb, and delicious. So this next exercise snack, I took the same loop resistance bands and I fed them through the handles of my refrigerator door. But whatever you attach it to, it has to be very, very stable. And then I am pulling my arms forward and I can really feel the resistance in my lats, in my triceps, a little bit in my biceps, and in my pectoral muscles. And as long as you're getting enough resistance, this can be an extremely effective upper body exercise. So this next snack treat that is high protein and low carb is a pizza. It's called a cloud pizza. The crust is actually made with cottage cheese, which I know sounds weird, but it's actually delicious. And you can put any toppings on it that you like. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. So I found this on the channel Cooking with Dave. He does a lot of keto-friendly and low-carb friendly recipes. And the way you do this, you start out by lining the baking sheet with parchment paper. You're going to blend a cup of cottage cheese until it's smooth, and then mix in 4 large eggs, a quarter cup of grated Parmesan cheese, some almond flour, baking powder, garlic powder, and onion powder, and get that all mixed together well. And then you actually are going to pour it onto the baking sheet and flatten it out. You can make an oval, you can make it round, whatever you like. Then you're going to bake it in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes until it's golden brown on top. You're going to take it out of the oven and add toppings to it. So most likely you'll put on marinara sauce, Italian seasoning. You can add shredded mozzarella cheese or whatever cheese you like, and then mix up the topping. So I did on mine, I did some olives, some onions, and marinara sauce. But you can add pepperoni, bell peppers, sausage, basil, whatever it is you like that you like on your pizza. And then once your toppings are on, you're going to bake it for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're done. And this is how it looks coming out of the oven. And it's actually delicious. It has a wonderful, it's called cloud pizza because it does have a very light texture to the dough, and it's just delicious. This is my very favorite exercise snack, and this is my Sunny Health Twist Stepper. It's a very, very well-made stepping machine. It comes this way, but you can also get it with a handle. And then you'll see there are resistance bands, so you can be working out your upper and lower body at the same time. This has a resistance button on it, so you can make it stronger. Harder to do versus easier. So if you want to focus more on aerobic, you're going to have that turned lighter. If you want to focus more on building muscle like I do, then you want to have the resistance up higher. And then if you step lightly, you don't go too far down, you're getting more aerobic. And then if you want more of a mountain climbing effect, then you'd want to have your feet go down much deeper on the device. So it's all in how you use it, but it's very, very serious exercise for your glutes and your quads, and you can even get the effects with your outer thighs by how you are positioning your feet. Anyway, my favorite piece of equipment, I think it's a great investment. It sells for about $80, and anybody, no matter where you live, can use this piece of equipment. It's very quiet. I keep it by my desk, so I have no excuses, and it gives me a great lower body workout and a fun upper body workout. So highly recommend this for everybody, especially if you don't have stairs in your home. So I just want to end this by saying it's not too late. It's not too hard. It just starts with something small in your kitchen. Start with a body snack, feeding your muscles the protein they need. Start with an exercise snack, even just 30 seconds of movement using your sink, your stairs, or your counter, because those small moments of movement, those simple choices you make throughout your day are what will build strength, what will shape your body, and what will keep you active, independent, and confident over the years. You don't need a perfect workout. You need consistent signals to your body. So just start. It's not time to grow old, it's time to grow bold. So thank you so much for joining me today. Here are some other videos I have done that you might enjoy about beauty, fitness, wellness, a variety of different topics, including mindset. I look forward to seeing you in a future video, and I wish you a beautiful day.